Off the Record is a show from 88.1 WKNC in which DJs talk with artists about everything from their music to upcoming tours to former bandmates' birthdays. Make sure to follow WKNC on SoundCloud and Tumblr so you never miss a beat. Enjoy! This is DJ Whatsherface, and I am currently joined by two artists who will be playing a show this weekend. If you want to introduce yourselves.
What's going on? This is Newman.
What up, y'all? It's Benny Okoto.
And they will be playing at King's Raleigh this weekend. They got a show going on with Ace Henderson, Cloud Nueve, and Chlo the God. And what time will that show start?
It's going to start at 9 o'clock, and the doors are at 8.
I'm through.
Sweet. So this showcase was put on by TSA. Can you tell me a little bit about what that organization is all about, what they do?
Yeah.
This area?
TSA stands for a couple different things, but mainly it's 10 steps ahead. And it's really just, a bunch of different creative people that we met growing up here in Raleigh. And they just kind of expanded throughout Virginia and New York, and mainly deals with music, but also just like technology and different designing, aspects and stuff like that. But it's mainly just about progress, just embracing, personal progress, and just always trying to stay 10 steps ahead. And that's,
Yeah, more on that is staying 10 steps ahead of yourself. And what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So, were you all founders of TSA?
Yeah, we founded it, and along with some other homies.
Yeah,
we started out with.
We have like a main core group of homies that we started it with.
Just rapping in the home studio type thing.
How long has it been around for?
Was it probably
since 2012.
Yeah, like 2012.
Oh wow, so it's been a while.
Maybe even 2011.
Yeah, I mean, there have always been like our friends who've done creative things. It's just we finally came together about 6-7 years ago.
So is it just kind of like to create a network of people who can support each other's art, or is it like do you book shows or?
It mainly is just about just making art and stuff like that. But we definitely have started planning a lot more things and trying to spread different vibes and stuff like that. Just connect people and see where it goes from there.
So is everybody on the showcase on Saturday involved in TSA?
No, but they're definitely like the homies. We know Ace for a long time.
Yeah.
And Chloe, we've known through other people, and we all just started hanging out recently, and a lot of our homies put us on the Cloudy stuff. And it's definitely dope. So yeah, we just want to connect the people who we think are dope, and especially people from North Carolina, and yeah, we just love doing the creative thing. So that's what we're really on. We're really about.
Awesome. So we're gonna play some of y'all's music later on in the show. Is there anything you could describe about the other artists, Cloud Nueve and Chlo the God? I actually hadn't heard of either of them until I saw this lineup.
Yeah, Chlo, she's a singer first of all. She has more like a R&B vibe, like kind of scissor vibes. And Cloudy, he does more like what you say, like rap, trap type of stuff.
I think it's more like just like wavy stuff. Really like good vibes.
Yeah. Melodic type.
Yeah, very melodic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that this showcase has like a Grand Prix theme. Where'd that come from?
I mean, we were just kind of inspired by a recent trip we took out in Italy, and yeah, we were just trying to get a little bit creative on how to present that. So yeah, it's really based off of Formula One racing, and we just kind of set that up. So the experience at King's will hopefully reflect that. It's not just gonna be an open mic vibe. It's like we're trying to make it put it in a different place. So yeah,
to make it feel like you're actually there at the San Marino Grand Prix.
At the race.
At the race, definitely.
So I'm curious, what was your trip to Italy like? Did you get to see a race, or is it just kind of a big part of their culture there?
I didn't get to see a race, unfortunately, but no, it was just being there was just inspiring, and that was just kind of something that I felt like could be a slight nod to that trip and do it in a fun way. But the trip itself was just really awesome, just being out there. And we went to Florence too, and
Venice.
Venice too, yeah. So yeah, that's
was
where
it
that
just
came
the
from.
two of y'all?
Oh no, we went with some other friends.
Some
That's
other
awesome.
TSA homies.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's awesome.
just planning some stuff.
Worldwide trips
Yeah.
with your friends.
Definitely.
Yeah, and if the listeners didn't know, y'all are brothers. I just found that out today.
We are. Yeah, yeah.
Do y'all ever collaborate together since you're so close?
Oh, yeah, we do. Like I said, it started out with just a group of our friends just rapping and making tracks and stuff. So yeah, we've been doing that for a minute. And you dropped some today, right?
Yeah, I actually dropped
wow.
an album, my debut album, Drugs in the Movies. Yeah, it took me a little minute to come with that together. So yeah, I'm definitely proud of it.
And that was dropped today. So where can our listeners find that if they want to listen to it?
If you guys want to listen to it, it is currently on SoundCloud, and it will hit all of the online streaming stores such as Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, coming up later this week.
Awesome. I feel like that's a great segue. You sent one of those songs, right?
Yeah, there's actually a couple.
Sweet. How about we play one of those while we're on the topic? What do you want to start out with?
Let's start with Stupid.
Okay. This is Stupid by Benny Okoto?
Yes, Okoto.
Okoto. And they're playing a show this Saturday, so we're going to talk more about that after this song. .1 WKNC. This is DJ Whatsherface, and you are just listening to a track by Benny Okoto off of his album that just dropped today. What's that called again, Benny?
It's called Drugs in the Movies.
Drugs in the Movies. I like that name. And that was Stupid. So I guess let's just focus on you for a second, since this is a pretty big deal. What do you use to make your music? This album in particular?
Honestly, it came from just I pulled from a bunch of different inspirations to come up with this project. I did watch a lot of movies, and between the time I was making it and kind of like formulated my own sort of movie within the project. And then kind of took concepts that I see in movies and overlaid them in the songs.
So is this kind of like a conceptual album?
Yeah, I'd say so.
What are some of the concepts?
It kind of plays on the idea of like love and anxiety, and just trying to find yourself knowing, or trying to find yourself with finding yourself in like love or in and out of love and stuff like that.
I feel like that's something a lot of people can relate to. Yeah. So just out of curiosity, what were some of those movies that you were watching and sort of inspired the concept of this album?
I watched definitely Doctor Strange. It was definitely a movie that I can point to recent memory that was a huge inspiration for it. If anyone's seen like the last scene of it, I think that's kind of where, I kind of came up with the concept.
So is the show on Saturday going to be the first time you're performing some of these songs, or are they kind of songs you've been performing and finally have been able to, I guess, put in a physical format?
We actually just started a tour. We've been going to a couple different places along the East Coast, the San Marino Grand Prix tour. And I just started performing this material.
Awesome. But so what are some of those places you've been on tour? Is that an ongoing thing?
Yeah. We've been to Chapel Hill, Asheville, Blacksburg, Virginia. And we got the show coming up as part of the tour in Raleigh. So it's still ongoing, and we still have more dates to be announced.
Durham as well.
Durham as well.
And New York as well.
And New York as well, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty solid lineup. Congratulations
Thank you.
on dropping the album and going on your first tour with it. So, how about, do you have anything in the works, Newman?
Yeah, I actually have this project called From Elmina. It's actually the first time I'm saying that, but...
saying it on air or ever to anyone?
Outside of my little friend group.
Wow.
Yeah, but From Elmina. Wrapping it up right now. Just got the masters, so yeah, very soon.
Do you got a date for that, or is it kind of like in the works?
Definitely next month. Next month.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So
I have a track or two if you want to play that later.
Oh yeah, totally. Cool. Is that like separate from your project Newman?
Yeah. This is actually my first like project that I put out for a long time actually. So.
How long have you been rapping as Newman?
I've been rapping as Newman since like 2011, like since high school really. And my last thing I kind of put out was like 2015 called The Trip. But yeah, this is my first body of work since then.
So would you say it's kind of like a rebranding? Has your style changed at all? Or
definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs on there that, were kind of started. I kind of started making them a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So it kind of does cover a large span of time, I'd say, that I went through some things and learned some things too. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, excited to hear more of that.
Thank you.
Will those be some tracks you'll be playing at the show on Saturday as well, or are you going to kind of focus on your old stuff until you hash out, I guess, the...
Kinks. I mean, I'll say I'll definitely preview some things at the show. So, yeah, I definitely recommend people to come through.
Yeah, and once again, that's this Saturday, the 21st, and it's going to be with Ace Henderson, who we actually played him at the start of this interview. I don't think I mentioned that. That was you and Ace Henderson.
Yeah, shout out Ace.
And then also Chlo the God and Cloud Nueve. So it should be a good time. King's is a lovely venue. Have you all played at King's before?
Yeah, we've been there a couple of times. Most recently was last summer with Ultra Psychic.
Oh yeah,
sure with the
I think they
series.
Just started that back up for the year.
Right. Yeah, they did. Yeah. So shout out to them too.
Sweet. So how about we play one of those tracks you were mentioning?
Sure. You got Ends?
Yes. And what was the name of that project again?
Project is From Elmina.
From Elmina, and it'll be dropping next month.
Next month.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So keep it locked. We are going to continue this interview after the song. .1 WKNC. This is DJ Whatsherface, and you were just listening to Ends by From Elmina, and that is a project that Newman, who is here right now, is working on. It'll be out next month. And yeah, we've been here for the last half hour or so talking about a show that's going on this Saturday over at King's. It's going to be Newman, Benny Okoto, both who are here, Ace Henderson, Cloud Nueve, and Chlo the God. So it's a pretty decent stack of people. They're going to be out at King's on Saturday. So I guess let's touch a little bit more on the other people playing. How do y'all know them?
Yeah, like I said, Ace, we've known for a long time. Since even before we was rapping, really. And
are y'all like high school friends or?
Actually, even earlier.
Even
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Loki was on the same.
Yeah, we were on the same basketball
back in the day. But
yeah, back in the day.
But yeah, that's the homie. It's definitely good to see his growth too as an artist.
Did you all kind of influence each other to work on music, or?
I mean, I would say like he definitely had his thing going on, and you know, we was with our home studio as well. But we worked on things, you know, throughout the past and up till now, and like I said, he was on Placentia earlier. So yeah, like that's definitely the homie. And Chloe, we recently met Chloe through one of our friends, and so that's pretty recent. But we knew she'd be like a dope fit for this show, and she's definitely doing some dope things on her own too. So we just thought it'd be really cool for us to all kind of showcase that. And like I said, Claudio, it was some other homies who put us on to him, and he's doing his thing too. So yeah, I just think it's gonna be a really dope show. It's a lot of different elements and a lot of different styles. So yeah, man, I don't think y'all want to miss this.
I think it's been pretty good. Are all these people from Raleigh? Or
Yeah,
Triangle.
I think,
at least? Yeah.
I think Chloe's from Fayetteville.
Oh wow.
Right?
Yeah, close from Fayetteville.
But she stayed in Greensboro, I believe. So yeah, but it's mostly like a Triangle thing.
I mean, I still consider, you know, Faithful and all of them local.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Gotta bridge the gap.
there you go.
Yep.
Bring them in. So do you guys feel like the Triangle music scene has grown a lot, or is really getting recognized outside of NC?
I do.
Yeah,
What you think?
I say it is. I think you have a wide spectrum of artists, and I think they're helping to cultivate a North Carolina sound. So in the next couple of years or so, you'll definitely see North Carolina in the forefront of hip hop and music in general.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things that's been kind of like bubbling over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's been cool to see like a lot of different faces coming up, and I know there's some established acts that have really started gaining recognition.
Yeah. I don't know if did y'all watch Rhapsody's documentary on Netflix?
I heard about it, but I haven't got a chance to watch it.
She was shouting out to Raleigh a lot, and I was like,
That's dope. No,
I'm gonna get found out now.
Yeah, her album was crazy though.
Yeah.
I was definitely bumping that for
I
a
think
minute.
I saw her live a couple years ago at Packapalooza.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because she went to NC State.
Yeah.
Word? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
She's an alumni.
That's tight.
It's like,
No, but there's a lot going on though, for real. Like he said, I definitely believe like the next couple of years, North Carolina as a whole, it's going to be a whole new wave for real.
Do you feel like it's going to be up there with cities like Atlanta? Or I've also noticed like it seems like some people have been moving out of Raleigh, like once they kind of make it big, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody has a different way of, you know, going about it, but I definitely think it could be similar to something like Atlanta, just because I feel there's like a lot of different styles, like I was saying. I don't know if there's specifically a NC sound like that yet, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's blended a whole bunch of different things. So I feel like out of that will come something that's, you know, a lot more original as far as the movement is concerned. And I think people should definitely stay tuned.
yep.
Who were some of your, I guess, favorite local people out here? I know that's kind of a favorites kind of question.
Right,
I don't know
right.
if that's a good question to ask.
I mean, it's cool too, cause like for me personally, I like I said, I was in Virginia earlier, so
Yeah.
like I feel like all this stuff is kind of just now like, you know, catching my eye as I've come back.
Oh yeah.
So-
What was it like? I guess living in Raleigh. You lived in Raleigh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, living in Raleigh, going to school for 4 years, and then coming back to this scene.
That was very interesting. I mean, I feel like Virginia is definitely completely different, especially the part of Virginia I was in, because I was up in the mountains and whatnot. So like, yeah, to come back, and I feel like Raleigh as a whole kind of it has evolved, you know, from when I was younger. But I mean, I was still here, like just coming, you know, back and forth, you know.
Went back for Thanksgiving or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Every so often, but I'm sorry, I kind of forgot the main question again.
Oh, what was it like, I guess, living in Raleigh and experiencing, you know, whatever was going on here, and then leaving for 4 years and then coming back to the scene?
Yeah, I think for me, it was kind of like going between two different places. So I felt connected and separate at the same time, you know, just based on my experiences. And so yeah, I don't know a lot of the guys out in the scene like that, but I do know a couple of them as I've come back and as we kind of started working more. But I think it's just dope, you know, because I feel like I've kind of seen it from an angle that was like, you know, separate from myself, but at the same time, like, I still am from here, you know, I spent most of my life here, and I was still coming in and out, you know, through that time in Virginia. So yeah, I mean, I'm very thankful for my experiences. So that's me. Well, he was out here. He was out too. He was in Texas mostly.
Yeah, I was out in Texas for the last 3 to 4 years.
So you just came back recently?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I was actually out in Pennsylvania first, and then I relocated to Texas and stayed out there for like 3 to 4 years.
Did you just feel like you wanted to, I guess, you know, when you graduate high school, you're like, I want to go somewhere new and fun. Is that kind of what you're going through, or like?
I mean, I've always had that kind of plan to like just see a whole bunch of different things as much as I can while I can. And yeah, I think that was always the plan.
I think for me too, it was kind of like, you know, going out there for a little bit and then coming back. It does give it a fresh new sense, like, you know, just being here again. So
are you able to like appreciate it more, like
exactly.
growing up here?
Yeah, like I had some friends come through from Virginia the other week, and they were like, they really like Raleigh a lot, and it was interesting to see it from like their lens, but at the same time, you know, I was still kind of coming to a couple spots that I hadn't really been around a lot, you know, myself. So yeah, it's just like a cool new perspective on it.
Yeah, I think on that idea, it's like going away or like losing your sense of what, you know, is normal or what you've become accustomed to. Losing it and then, you know, coming back to it, your appreciation becomes greater, and your perspective, first and foremost, becomes greater, which allows your appreciation and your love for it to become greater.
I could agree with that. I feel that. Do you think it's like easier to be a musician in a scene that's like a little more? I feel like the scene here is very like close knit, like everybody knows each other and supports each other, whereas like, you know, in really big cities you can't really have that kind of network. Do you think it's more beneficial? Whereas like, I guess the benefit of being in a bigger city is like just more opportunity.
Right. I feel like there's pros and cons to both. And I feel like there is that thing though, you know, being in a bigger place, like there's so many people trying to do that maybe could be oversaturated. But I like what you were saying too, as far as like somewhere here where there's a lot of fresh new ideas, you know, and people are trying to really make it and try new things. I feel like, you know, being able to cultivate a whole new kind of wave is a dope idea too. And like I said before, we're just about just creating and supporting what we think is dope. So that's why stuff like this show on Saturdays is dope to me, because all the artists want to, like, you know, I mess with the vision that they got too. So yeah, I just think not just with this show, but just in North Carolina in general is on that right now for the most part, I think. And I think it can only get better too. So I think it's heading in the right direction.
Does TSA have any more showcases like this lined up, or planning on doing them in the future?
Definitely want to do more.
We actually, we definitely do. And I think that's what we're trying to do with the first couple strings of tours, is being able to cultivate these kind of atmospheres in different regions, not only in North Carolina, but outside of the state as well.
So is your tour going to be like just you two, or like you're going to bring a bunch of friends as well? to sort of like introduce them to places you've been as well?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Like some dates
Mm-hmm.
it is just us, but dates like these, you know, I want to do way more of. Even when I was in Virginia, we would kind of do, you know, similar things where we would just kind of showcase
The dope talent that's
just
around.
people we knew that was, you know, doing their own thing. So yeah, like yeah, to answer your question, I would definitely love to do more and just keep creating, really.
Have y'all ever toured together before, or is this kind of like a new thing?
This is the first time we've done this.
Oh, awesome.
We've been doing shows here and there over
Mhm.
the years, but this is the first time we kind of try to string it together. And like I said, the kind of the San Marino thing just inspired us to kind of put that together. So
It makes sense.
yeah, yeah,
So did y'all book your own tour, or?
yeah. For the most part, we kind of put it together ourselves. But there was some shows like the one in Blacksburg. They reached out to us, and as well as
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's awesome.
There's actually another show, actually the day before this one in Durham,
Mm-hmm.
with Private Durham. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but
What kind of place is that?
they're a collective. I think they
Okay.
throw shows out there, mostly like dance-esque shows.
Mhm.
But we're doing that as well as Runaway. I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah.
with them, but yeah, I think they're
Mhm.
involved as well. But yeah, for
Where's
the most
that gonna
part,
be?
that would be at the Pinhook.
Oh, okay.
If
I
you're
love
out
the
in Durham. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. Actually, it's my first time like performing there, but
It's a really cool
yeah,
venue.
I've been
yeah.
there. Yeah. It's cool.
Very artsy place.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Well, how about we play another track about for the
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do you have one for drugs in the movies? You
Let's
got-
go with You Might.
That's actually one of my favorites. When there.
sweet.
You might jump up to take new heights, new heights. Only if that move right, you right, do whatever you like.
88.1 WKNC. You are. I keep on wanting to say the local beat because that's like my show, but you're not listening to the local beat. But I'm here with Newman and Benny Okoto, and you just heard one of his tracks. That was You Might, right?
Yep.
And that's off your album that just dropped today.
Yep. Drugs in the Movies. Go check it out if you can.
Sweet. So let's talk a little bit more about what kind of show you guys are going to put on Saturday, and like what's your performance style like?
Yeah, I would say for me, I would say I like, you know, lyrics first and foremost. So I just really try to like get into the lyrics of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hopefully you be listening to what I'm actually saying. But if not, you know, I think the beats will be you know, a vibe or whatever you want to call it. I feel like the whole night really is just gonna be a party. Also shout out to DJ Husa from he's a DJ from Virginia from a group called MPLB, and that stands for No Party Left Behind. So hopefully that'll give you an idea of what's going down
I think
Saturday.
that tells a lot.
Yeah, but as far as me, yeah, it might be a little intense. So yeah, like I just hope people listen to what I'm saying first and foremost. But you know, even if you're drowning what I'm saying out, just get loose, man. Expect it to be a good one.
Yep. Definitely.
What kind of topics do you like to touch on in your songs? You wanna?
Wide ranging. I guess
Okay.
I'll touch on Elmina since that's coming up, but without giving up too much, I would say for this project, I kind of wanted to focus on the contrast between freedom and kind of entrapment. So I know that's kind of vague, but I just kind of try to pick things in my life that kind of represent those, you know, whether that be relationships or my views on the, you know, certain educational systems, you know, good and bad. But yeah, I think I like to touch on a wide range of things, and try to give a little inspiration too, you know. But
So, like, when you have a project, do you kind of choose a concept, or is it kind of like the concept comes to you, if that makes sense?
I definitely think the concept comes to me, and it kind of manifests over time. Like I said, this is my first project since about 2014, 15, partly because I like scrapped a lot of other projects, but pieces of each kind of just manifested into this one.
Why'd you scrap them? Just like it wasn't going the direction you wanted it to, or like you weren't in the zone or whatever?
I mean, definitely different reasons. I feel like partly when I was still in school, I kind of didn't want to put another project out while I was going through that. So
yeah, it's hard to focus on
yeah, but
the other things you like to do in life when you're in school.
I was definitely still creating the whole time, but I didn't want to finish that until I was done with that. So it's kind of like a trial, like, you know, it was just cuts out along the way, and a lot of stuff just kept not making it until I just kind of brought it to where it is now. I guess this might be the first and last time I speak on it, but in relation to that freedom thing, I'll just say Elmina was, if people don't know, it's actually a slave castle in Ghana, where my family's from. Not from Elmina, but from Ghana, and a lot of what I was talking about plays off of, like I was saying, that freedom versus entrapment, and you know, obviously I'm not in that specific situation, but ways that showed up in my life. So that is definitely a heavy part of the inspiration for where I'm at right now.
Awesome. So as far as Newman goes, do you feel like it was a little less personal, or the kind of music you were putting out with Newman, or it was just like a different time in your life? Yeah,
I think everything between that project and this one was still me kind of experimenting and figuring out different things. And I mean, for me personally, like I said, I like lyrics and such like that, so I still feel like I still have a lot to get off my chest that may not be as focused as this particular project. But yeah, I was still just you know, working and figuring things out.
So you said that you work in a lab, you studied biology.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, when you are in the lab pipetting and as you do, what do you listen to? If I assume your work lets you have headphones.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Mostly, not to sound like that, but mostly myself, just you know, different drafts and trying to just make.
So you're kind of like working while at work.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Working both jobs at the same time.
Priority.
Go to work.
Two birds, one stone.
But musically, I mean, I really like a lot of different stuff. So it kind of depends. You mean like recently, or?
Yeah. Or, you know, recently or overall, what bands or artists like you always go back to?
Right.
However you want to take it.
Oh, that sounds cliche, but as far as bands, I always do like a little beach house, you know, depending on how it's going.
I feel like that's a good thing to, like, no matter what you're doing, just like stick it in the background, because it's like,
oh yeah,
it's kind of there, but it's not like,
right.
I don't know.
No, I get what you mean. For sure. But yeah, as things come, I try to. I do keep up with what's going on for the most part. So, you know, I'll check things out just to hear it out. I'm also in the podcast a lot though. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those definitely get you through the work day.
Oh yeah.
What are some podcasts you've been listening to?
Not gonna lie, the Joe Budden podcast kind of fire.
It's a good podcast.
It's kind of fire. My friend just put me onto this other one called The Daily Zeitgeist.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. And then also Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood. That's a really dope one. Sometimes Brilliant Idiots too. But yeah.
What about you, Benny? What have you been listening to?
I mean, I really like what I always go back to and what I find myself listening to. It's like that old psychedelic rock.
Oh really?
Some Pink Floyd and some Fleetwood Mac. I really like the sounds that they were able to come up with back then. They're still like work today.
That's interesting. I only recently I grew up, I guess, like listening to, you know, The River or whatever in my mom's van, and I always I don't know. As a kid, I always thought it was so annoying, but like,
Why you say that?
I don't know. It was just like,
not
you
your
know,
vibe.
mom music or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
But recently, like, my roommate got all these old vinyls and she was like
Mm.
playing some Fleetwood Mac, and I was like, this is actually like really great. Like,
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oddly enough, my mom, like you're saying, my mom put me on to that because, I mean, at first she didn't really like us, you know, listening to hip hop. So
yeah.
that's all that would be playing.
so how did you all get into hip hop? Just like your friends or whatever? Well, I guess nobody really grows up gets, what's the word? Nobody listens to their parents' music their whole life.
Yeah.
Most people, anyways.
Yeah, no, it's fact. I mean, well, for me, it was late registration. That's what started it anyway, for me.
Yeah, on that, it's like Lupe Fiasco around that time in
Oh, yeah.
2006, and then
Oh, yeah.
Definitely some Lupe.
all the Southern, like when I was in, you know, middle school growing up, the Southern music was just, you know, dope back then. So
Mm-hmm.
I found myself listening a lot to that.
I feel like nowadays there's like more hip hop on the radio than ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, when I was a kid, it was mostly just like, you know, very pop centric
Yeah.
stuff on the radio. And now it's like, there's indie rock, there's hip hop, there's rap. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's weird to see his trajectory. But,
Yeah. And it's like top 40 music too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even rappers are in top 40, which, like, I don't know. There wasn't too many people doing that when I was young.
Winning Pulitzer Prizes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of like new rappers, especially this show coming up on the 21st at King's, a lot of these artists have very eclectic music taste and, you know, songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a thing where that kind of thing of like pop and different elements of rock and all that have been incorporated in hip hop, and I think it's a very cool thing because the genre is evolving
Yeah.
even till this day.
And everyone on this lineup has, I guess, something a little different to offer, it seems like.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Sweet. How about we play another song that might be featured at the show tomorrow? Not Saturday. It's not Friday yet. Get ahead of myself.
It's
No,
almost
good.
Friday.
We're almost there.
In spirit.
Cool. What do we want to...
Maybe we should play a Corridor. I think that'll be, might be the first one I'll put out off of From Elmina.
Sweet. And if you're just tuning in, I'm joined by Newman and Benny Okoto, and we've been talking for the last 45 minutes or so about a show that they'll be playing at King's this Saturday with Ace Henderson, Cloud Nueve, and Shlovely God. And it's presented by us, WKNC, as well as TSA. So, yeah, keep it locked. We will continue after this song. 88.1 WKNC. This is DJ Whatsherface, and I'm here with Newman and Benny Okoto. You just heard a track off Newman's new project that's coming out next month. This is From Elmina with Corridor. So, time is running out, but yeah, let's just give a little overview of what the show on Saturday is going to be like, since that's what we're here for.
All right, yeah, the show is the San Marino Grand Prix, presented by TSA and WKNC. That's going to be this Saturday, April 21st, and it's going to be me, Newman, Benny Okoto, Ace Henderson, Cloudy Nueve, and Chloe the God. And, I just hope y'all expecting an experience. We're going to have live visuals by Betchel's Test.
DJ Husa from
DJ
No Party
Husa, yeah.
Left Behind.
No
spinning.
Party Left Behind, spinning on the ones and twos. So yeah, it's gonna be a big party, man. Y'all should come out and party with us. Again, that's this Saturday, April 21st.
Doors open at 8 p.m. Show starts at 9.
Where can people find tickets for the show?
You can find tickets on King's website. That's kingsraleigh.com. if you happen to see a flyer, we got QR codes on them so you can scan it if you come across one of those.
How do people? Do you have to like download an app to do that, or
No, you just need a camera actually on
really?
your phone.
And
Yeah.
it just pops up.
You can even do it on Snapchat too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
There
I've
you
like
go.
heard of QR codes, so I never knew how they work.
Yeah, I thought you needed an app too, but now it's a quick boom boom, and there you
Man.
go.
Yeah, there's a bunch of apps
Technology.
already installed on the iPhone. Like if you want to use the wallet app as well, you can do that as well.
Awesome,
Yep.
sweet. So where can people find your music?
You can find me online anywhere at Newman TSA, so SoundCloud/Newman TSA, or Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere online, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Benny Okoto. That's BENNYOKOTO. I just dropped a project called Drugs in the Movies that's out right now on my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Benny Okoto. And it will be hitting online stores very, very soon. So check it out, please.
Sweet. Well, thank y'all so much for coming in. I'm looking forward to the show on Saturday.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Let's close this off with one last song.
Let's do it.
Was it Make a Movie?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just know with me one time. Speak no evil, could you be so blind? Be right there to ease your mind. Got me asking what you made of. How you be so fine? Fill you out, just